It was a cold, foggy evening in the small town of Ravenswood. The streets were empty, and the only sound was the occasional howl of the wind. Detective James Carter sat in his dimly lit office, staring at a case file that had been troubling him for weeks. The case was unlike anything he had ever seen before. It was a mystery that had left the entire town in fear. The case was called Viral Violence. It all started when a young man named Tom Wilson was found dead in his apartment. At first, it seemed like a simple suicide, but when the police investigated further, they found something strange. Tom's computer was open, and on the screen was a video. The video showed Tom acting violently, attacking an invisible enemy, and then suddenly collapsing. The police thought it was just a strange coincidence, but then more deaths started happening. Each victim had the same symptoms. They would act violently, as if fighting someone who wasn't there, and then die suddenly. And each time, a video was found on their computer or phone, showing their final moments. Detective Carter knew there was something more to this. He had seen many cases in his career, but this one felt different. It was as if the violence was spreading like a virus. The first clue. Carter decided to visit Tom Wilson's apartment again. He wanted to see if he had missed anything. As he searched the small, messy room, he noticed something unusual. There was a small USB drive hidden under the bed. Carter plugged it into his laptop and found a single file named Project V. The file contained a series of notes and experiments. It seemed like Tom had been working on some kind of project involving virtual reality and brainwaves. Carter didn't understand all the technical details, but one thing was clear. Tom had been experimenting with something dangerous. Carter decided to visit Tom's workplace, a tech company called NextGene Labs. He met with Dr. Emily Harris, the head of the research department. Dr. Harris was a brilliant scientist, but she seemed nervous when Carter mentioned Project V. "I don't know much about it," she said, avoiding eye contact. Tom was working on his own project. He didn't share much with us. Carter didn't believe her. He could tell she was hiding something. The second victim. The next day, another victim was found. This time, it was a young woman named Sarah Collins. She was a journalist who had been investigating NextGene Labs. Carter found her in her apartment, her computer screen showing the same kind of video as Tom's. Carter searched Sarah's apartment and found a notebook. In it, she had written about her investigation into NextGene Labs. She believed the company was conducting illegal experiments on human subjects. She also mentioned a secret lab hidden somewhere in the town. Carter knew he was getting closer to the truth. He just needed to find that lab. The secret lab. After hours of searching, Carter finally found the lab. It was hidden in an old warehouse on the outskirts of town. Inside, he found a room filled with computers and strange equipment. There were also several people lying on beds, connected to machines. Dr. Harris was there, along with a few other scientists. They were shocked to see Carter. "What are you doing here?" Dr. Harris asked, her voice trembling. "I could ask you the same thing," Carter replied. "What is this place? What are you doing to these people?" Dr. Harris hesitated, then finally confessed. "We were working on a project to create a new form of virtual reality. But something went wrong. The technology started affecting people's brains, causing them to hallucinate and act violently. We tried to stop it, but it was too late. The virus had already spread." Carter couldn't believe what he was hearing. "You created this? And you didn't think to tell anyone?" "We were afraid," Dr. Harris said. "We didn't want to get in trouble. We thought we could fix it before anyone found out." The final showdown. Carter knew he had to stop this before more people got hurt. He ordered Dr. Harris and the other scientists to shut down the project immediately. But as they were working, one of the machines started beeping loudly. "What's happening?" Carter asked. "The virus is spreading faster than we thought," Dr. Harris said. "It's going to infect everyone in the town if we don't stop it now." Carter and the scientists worked frantically to shut down the system. It was a race against time. Finally, after what felt like hours, the machines went silent. The aftermath? The town of Ravenswood was safe, but the damage had already been done. Several people had lost their lives because of the virus. Dr. Harris and the other scientists were arrested, and NextGene Labs was shut down. Carter sat in his office, staring at the case file one last time. He had solved the mystery, but it didn't feel like a victory. He couldn't stop thinking about the people who had died and the lives that had been ruined. As he closed the file, he couldn't help but wonder, in a world where technology was advancing so quickly, how many more mysteries like this were waiting to be uncovered?